Here we are at Murate Park with Robert Rasmussen. We are glad to host you here in Florence. So let's start. 20 years of Lego Serious Play. What has changed, if anything, is changed in this method?
The method itself has basically not changed. It's much more refined than it was 20 years ago, and we know much more about how to use it and how to apply it and stuff like that. But if you think of a car 20 years ago, it was still a car. You can still recognize it. It still had 4 wheels, engine, and a steering mechanism. Same with Lego Serious Play. The basics of Lego Serious Play is still the same as it was 20 years ago, because it is incredibly robust. It's very generic. But we know much more about how to steer it, how to manage, how to apply it to many different things. Right? So the method itself has really not changed. What has changed is society and the need for something like Lego Serious Play. Lego Serious Play was approximately 15 years ahead of its time. So today, especially the last 4, 5, 6 years, there's been a much bigger need for something like Lego Serious Play. The real turning point was in many ways the financial crisis in 2007, 8, and 9. Until that, organizations kind of felt, you know what, things will move, just plan like you did last year, etc., etc. But after the crisis, the mentality changed. That's where organizations realized there's a much bigger need for actually communicating in a better way. At the same time, if you look at the appearance of all the social media and that so much communication happens online, people are actually not really very good at communicating face to face. So the application of Lego Serious Play is tremendously much more relevant today than it was 20 years ago.
And today we are in a startup incubator. So how well Lego Serious Play apply to startups and innovation, generally speaking?
Well, startups typically only will be successful if they really are able to articulate their ideas. If they really are able to formulate what is their ideas and what is their vision, what is their value proposition, to communicate. And they're only successful if they also, in a team, are able to communicate very effectively and get all the potential that they have out in the open. Lego Serious Play is good for that. So it's really a matter of giving startups a way so they can make good decisions in real time, they can be active, they can be agile, they can get everybody in the same place, they can communicate their ideas and their vision. Lego Serious Play is a tremendously good tool for that.
So, finally, next Saturday we will host a morning session with you. We will use the bricks too.
Absolutely. And when you listen to what you just have been listening to, you probably wonder, yeah, so what? I mean, how can Lego bricks be a powerful tool? So it's all theory. When you listen to it, you can only feel the power by trying it. And that's what you'll get a chance to on Saturday, to really trying it. So, okay, now I see it, now I can see the power, now I can see why it's useful for all of these applications, including innovation and stuff like that. So if you just hear about it, it's just theory, come and practice, and you will know what we're talking about.